Hi folks, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Now tonight we're going to do something completely different. Cue Monty Python sketch. Now, as I told a few of you, Rob in New Hampshire, my mate, I do jewellery for a living. This is my job, this is what I do. The bikes is just a hobby. I make jewellery and we retail jewellery. And I thought I'd just pass on a little trick, which is something I've always known ever since I did my training. And it's a grandma's trick, something real simple. It's how to clean silver for next to nothing. There are all kinds of products out there that help you clean silver and you can rub it. But things like this, silver chains, they just go brown. Now silver tarnishes, we all know that. Silver contains 3 constituent parts, sterling silver. It's 92.5% pure silver. It's 3 3/4% copper and 3 3/4% nickel. The copper is the offending part, that causes a problem. The silver itself, not being pure, has a tendency to tarnish, and we all know what silver tarnish or tarnished silver looks like. It's this brown horrible look, and what causes tarnishing is sulfur. There is sulfur in the atmosphere, it's in the environment, there's nothing to do with it, nothing to do about it. If we live in a city area like New York City or London, you'll find there's a lot of sulfur comes out of car exhausts. It comes out of humans, especially if you eat eggs. So sulfur is in the atmosphere, and sulfur reacts with silver and makes silver sulfide. And silver sulfide, you finished?
Yeah.
Stop laughing. Silver sulfide is brown, and it coats the surface of your silver, and it makes it look horrible. Now you can rub it off. There's 2 ways to clean silver. You can rub it off with a cloth, and that effectively takes off the surface, because the silver sulfide is effectively the silver that has changed. It has oxidized into that and become a different alloy. Or you can chemically strip it with a caustic action, and that's what I'm going to show you tonight. It's ever so simple, costs next to nothing. The tools you will need to do this simple task is a couple of Tupperware pots, bit of tin foil, some salt and some baking powder, and a pair of tweezers, unless you've got asbestos fingers, because also you'll need a kettle because you need some boiling water. So I'm just going to get this set up and I'm going to show you how we do it. Okay, all set up. You need to line one of your little pots with tin foil, shiny side in, and then you need the other one full of clean water. And all you do is you put the jewellery. Remember, this is an electrolytic process. You're setting up a metal stripping process, so therefore you don't need to worry about the pearls or any other stones, crystals that might be on the jewellery. It's not important, it won't hurt them. It will not hurt them because they're not metal, they won't react to this chemical process. This is just chemical stripping like they do at the chromers. And what I'm going to do, these 2 chains are equally tarnished. So to show you the difference, I'm going to do just one and show you what it looks like when it's done. So when all the jewellery is in the pot, you put equal quantities of salt and baking powder over the surface. Doesn't have to be too accurate. You could use a spoon, but I can't be bothered. This works with practice, just get the amounts right. So the equal quantities of salt and baking powder. The baking powder is effectively soda or bicarbonate of soda. You could use proper caustic soda, but you'll probably dissolve your jewellery. So on jewellery, don't use this drain stuff. That's if you want to strip chrome off metal parts for your bike. But if you're doing jewellery, you just need baking powder. It's a much milder form of caustic soda, and you're setting up a caustic reaction. Then we need to boil a kettle, and this is the clever bit. All you do is make sure that the water is boiling, not boiled and stopped a few minutes ago, but still bouncing in the kettle, and that will work, and you'll see what happens. Well ventilated area for your safety and protection, because this gives off sulfur gas, and you'll sell it straight away. It's rotten eggs or bad curry, all those things that make that nasty smell. Right, kettle's boiling, bouncing up and down, and just gently just drizzle that over the powder, and as that fizzes away, that is a caustic solution stripping the surface off the silver, and it will dissolve. Now come up at a height and get that water going in, and as you pour it in from a height you'll see it refizzes again. Any that's not dissolved refizzes, and there we are. Now that solution will do its job in no time at all. Pick a piece of the jewellery up, give it a little wiggle round, and then put it very quickly straight in the cold clean water. The reason we put it in clean water is that what it is in at the moment is a particulate solution, and if you take it out of this solution, this is a particulate of salt and baking powder, which is white crystals. If you allow the water in here, if you just took that out and dried that or let it there to dry, all the white crust would form on the surface. So as you take that in there, you can see it's clean already, and it doesn't hurt pearls, it doesn't hurt crystals or anything else you might have put in that's valuable. You can't see it either, it's quite difficult. Now that chain hasn't quite finished cleaning itself, so we're going to just agitate that in the water. Okay, that's got them all out, and the chain was particularly bad, but get it back in there and rinse all this solution off the metals. Now we just lay that quickly on there. Obviously you're using a capillary action of this kitchen paper, and that sucks the water out of all the little tiny nooks and crannies of the jewellery, and it will let it dry off better. Just ordinary clean tap water is absolutely fine. How clean they've come up. And this is pence. This costs absolutely nothing. This is like a grandma's ma and pa recipe, sort of thing your nan would teach you. It's a simple chemical process. You don't need to go and buy expensive silver dip. That stuff is just a rip-off and pointless. Okay, now this paper does tend to suck fluid out. It's pretty good. But I want to show you this. That's the chain we've cleaned. That's the chain we haven't cleaned. You can see a distinct difference there. And that is clean inside the holes. You can buff a chain, you can rub it all you like, but you'll only make the outside clean. If you put it in this stripping process, you've effectively chemically cleaned it, and that took seconds in the salt and baking powder. The reason you use this is because it's completely safe. It's a metal stripping process, same as they do in chroming plants. If you have anything electroplated, you don't have your bike parts chrome plated, this is the kind of chemistry that they get taught. So I'm just going to do this last one, get this all finished up, right, and there we are. That's that second chain cleaned up. Remember, always put it in the clean water afterwards to rinse that solution that you've created off the surface. If you don't do that, then it will set on the surface and your jewellery will go white and crusty. You can run it under the tap, that will give it even better. And this is it. Some of Mrs. Delboy's jewellery, all clean and shiny. Oxygen and air exposure to the atmosphere causes tarnishing, nothing else. A bit of moisture, so you get like a damp atmosphere or a humid atmosphere, then it's going to cause this a problem. And there we are. That's how you clean jewellery for a few pence. Thanks for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. See you next time.